Hello, Namaskar, and a very good evening to everyone watching NCRT's live interactive sessions. I am Simran Singh, and you have all connected with us through eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Besides this, there are so many different mediums through which you can all connect with us. You can even participate in our live conversations by raising your questions and your queries in the comment section of our YouTube channel that goes by the name NCRT Official. And once again, I would like to take the moment to welcome all our learners, all the viewers, our audiences in this special segment that is the 5 days, 5 hours online training program on cyber clubs. So it is the fourth day of our online training program where we are going to discuss about the activities on socio-ethical aspects of cyber safety. Now, when we talk about cyber safety, we all know that internet is something that we are all using. Cyberspace, we are all consuming a space in the cyberspace in one or the other way. So we have to do it judiciously. That is, we have to make it in a way that we use it in the right manner, and instead of facing the negative impacts, let us make it possible that everything around will be positive in the cyberspace. So these kind of areas, this discussion becomes very important. And talking about cyber safety, we all know that there are different aspects or domains of cyber safety. So let us quickly have a look at our screens in order to understand the topics that we have covered so far. And viewers, if you would like to know more about our 5 days, 5 hours online training program on cyber clubs, so all you have to do is you have to open the website of CIT NCRT that goes by the name ciet.ncrt.gov.in. So here are so many options available for you. Just click on activities, then workshop/training. Now we have different kind of activities available for all of you. Under current activity, just click on online training cyber clubs. So all the details regarding the cyber clubs, regarding the training program are right here on your screens. This is the detailed banner of the areas that we have covered so far. So on the day first, we discussed about cyber clubs, the concept, need and scope attached to them. Then we discussed about the activities on technical aspects of cyber safety. Yesterday, we discussed about the physical aspects of cyber safety. I just informed you today it is going to be about the socio-ethical aspects, and tomorrow when we are going to conclude our program, we will discuss about the legal aspects of cyber safety. Now this particular information here, this is with regard to our post-session activity or the quiz, and whether it's students, teachers, teacher educators, parents, administrators, general public, etc. You can all participate with us in our live training programs, and also you can be a part of the quiz. This is a detailed program schedule where you have all the information regarding our esteemed panelists, the presentations, the video links for all of you in case if you haven't watched our live programs. Now, how you can all participate in our post-session activity? There are certain steps laid down for you. Step number 1 says registration. You have to register yourself by clicking on this link or by scanning the QR code. Step number 2 is watching the live training program. So you can connect with us through PME Vidya channel 6 to 12, NCRT official YouTube channel, and also through other mediums. Step number 3 is participation in the post-session activity and the certification. So this is a good news. Well, for all of you, if you score over 70% in the training programs quiz, then you'll also receive a certificate from CIET NCRT. The opening date will be tomorrow, 8th of March 2024 by 6 p.m. The closing date would be 29th of March 2024 by 6 p.m. And we keep on saying that your feedback matters a lot. So please write to us, do share your feedback with us. Here is a Google form attached for all of you, or either by scanning this QR code, you can write to us. Besides this, if you have any of the questions, anything you would like to ask our experts, then our viewers, in the comment section of NCRT Official, you can share your queries and we try to include all the answers of your questions. And apart from that, you can always reach out to us through this contact number flashing on your screens. It is 8800440559. And the specific mail IDs where you can write to us and share your questions. One of them is cybersafety@ciet.nic.in. Also, you can reach out to us through training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. So as you all know that there are different aspects of cyber safety, today we are going to discuss about the socio-ethical aspects, and providing us more insights for this, we have our esteemed panelists, our guest in the studio. So allow me to introduce you with the guest for the program. Here we have with us Ms. Indu Yadavji, Vice Principal from KV Pushpa Vihar, Saket. Namaskar.
Thank you.
A very warm welcome to you. And we are also joined with Ms. Vinita Garg, Head of IT from SRDAB Public School. Namaskar. A very warm welcome to you as well.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you.
So, viewers, without further delay, let us begin our conversation, try and understand more about this particular topic that says much about socio-ethical aspects of cyber safety. So, I believe in the first place, Vinita ma'am, we need to understand what this topic says. What are socio-ethical aspects and why there's a need, I should say it is the need of the hour, there's a need to talk about this.
Yes, Simran, thank you so much for the nice question. Let me share my PPT first. So I will start the session with a beautiful quote. Anyone can be a digital citizen, but it's our choice to be a responsible digital citizen. Now let's understand this quote from the perspective of, physical space. So it will become, anyone can be a citizen, but it's our choice to understand and practice ethics and responsibilities to be a responsible citizen. And how can we become a responsible citizen? We can become responsible by following ethics and by being principled. Now, what does this word ethics means? Let us perceive the meaning of this word ethics. So here are some words which you can see on the screen which actually relate to the word ethics, and these are fairness, responsibility, respect, honesty, transparency and morality. The moment when the child takes birth in a family, the parents, they take they take care of their child so that they can teach their children to be ethical in real life. And whatever values we have as an adult, most of these values were inculcated during our early years only. And suppose let us take an example to understand better. We always teach our children not to talk to strangers. But do we really ask them, do we really apprise them of the dangers of interacting with online strangers? We really ask our children, do not steal anything, be honest in life, be polite and kind when interacting with others. But do we give importance, do we emphasize on, online etiquettes? Now, when with the advancement of technology, I must say, it has become more crucial than ever to teach our children cyber ethics in the same manner we teach them real world ethics. Let me explain these through some real life stories. So in one of these stories, Meeta, a girl, was cyber bullied by her classmates on Instagram group, where 4 of the girls of her class, shared some of the personal images of Meeta, and they made fun about her vitals in a harsh manner. And soon after that, one of the classmates posted a story of Meeta's picture on Instagram with some insensitive comments. And this eventually led to Meeta actually slitting her wrist and undergoing severe depression thereafter. Let me share one more story. Rohan, a class 10 boy, secretly took a photo from his cell phone of Rajat, who was, an overweight boy, and while he was undressing in the gym locker. And he shared that picture in the class group and everyone was mocking at him. And when Rajat, he found this out, he felt so embarrassed that he refused to return to school. In another case, a police officer told reporters, a man used to create fake profiles to send friend requests to people. And after winning their trust, he used to ask them for money to be transferred to some fake e-wallet accounts, citing some emergency. And after receiving the money, he used to close down such accounts. So these are only very few examples of thousands of such stories which are happening due to unethical online practices. So what shall we do? It is very important, I think, to teach our children, to educate them about cyber ethics so that they can navigate safely and they can behave responsibly in the cyber world. So what actually is cyber ethics? It is, we can say, a set of guidelines for appropriate and responsible online behavior. Very important, online. And it is very important that children, they must understand that accessibility of cyberspaces or devices are their privileges as well as rights. But with rights come responsibilities too. And if responsibilities are not taken care of, they may lead to unethical use of cyberspace, and at times they can become a victim of cybercrimes too. So let us understand one more time what actually cyber ethics are. I think there is a suggestion from my side that whenever we talk about cyber ethics, we should not introduce them in the form of long list of don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that, because the moment you say them, don't do this, I think they will definitely going to try it just to find out what will actually happen if they don't do this. And they should be represented, they should be told in the form of some do's, like respect the privacy of others. Be mindful of sharing your information online. Be polite and kind while online. Use cyberspaces responsibly for yourself and others. Respect intellectual property and give due credits. Think before responding to unknown persons online. Maintain integrity while online. And always read terms and conditions before confirming anything online. I think this long list of cyber ethics will definitely help us in creating thoughtful, empathetic digital citizens who could maintain civility, humanity and dignity both online and offline. So this is about socio-ethical aspects, Simran.
We discussed and we got to know about the different socio-ethical aspects that are associated with cyber safety, but particularly talking about cyber clubs, about which the 5 days, 5 hours online training is all about. So how cyber clubs can actually form an important part in addressing people or maybe children more about being responsible and digital citizens, because when we talk about children, we all know that we are in this era of technology. We are using it for almost everything right out there. When I wake up in the morning,
Yeah, right,
till I
for the
sleep,
alarm, yeah.
there is something associated with technology. So how cyber clubs can actually be an integral or maybe important part of our lives?
Yeah, very important question, Simran. Let me throw some light on some of the data which I have collected from net only. You know, a recent national survey in India indicates that 60% of youngsters aged 9 to 17 years, they spend more than 3 times daily on social media or gaming platforms. And you know, in some states of India, it is around 6 hours, 6 hours daily. Only 10% of parents noted that their child felt happier after spending time on social media or gaming. Although they are spending a lot, but even then they are not happy. And let me talk about one more report which came out in 2022, and it was by the US Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy. He said that 3 hours of daily social media interaction with higher risk of depression and anxiety among children is posing more negative impacts than the positive impacts. So these numbers are really terrifying. And children, they usually do not want to discuss any matter with their parents because they think that the parents will immediately block their social media accounts and they will take their devices too. Then they do not want to discuss with their teachers too. And teachers also, they often struggle with discussing cyber ethics in the classroom because they already have so much content to discuss in the classroom. Although government is doing a lot, you can see on the screen, we have a helpline number, toll-free helpline number 1930. Then we have a portal www.cybercrime.gov.in, childline help number. And the Ministry of Electronics, they are doing a lot. They are publishing a lot of material in the form of stories and poems and everything, so as to apprise everyone how to remain safe on internet. But even then, our children, they are becoming victims. So how to solve this problem? Not one stakeholder cannot solve this problem. It is the collaborative responsibility of everyone. And I think here is the need of cyber club in every school. Cyber clubs headed by teachers, they have certain students with them, senior students, And this, I think the junior students or whoever becomes victimized or whoever feels problem while navigating online, so they feel comfortable when talking to their peers, and they think that they would be able to find some solutions because they are not ready to share these things with their parents or teachers. So here the importance of cyber club has increased a lot. If every club, if every school has cyber club, I hope this problem will be solved. We will be able to solve this problem and will be able to handle the challenges which our young generation is facing nowadays. And these clubs, they can organize, if we have cyber clubs in our school, they can organize some activities on a regular basis, and these activities, they will help students to remember what to do and what not to do. So here we are introducing some activities, and some engaging activities should be there, because again, if you tell them that do this and don't do this, they will never listen to this, because they think that because they think that they are digital natives and smarter than digital immigrants like us. So here is one example of one of the activity, and it is the cyber ethics quest, a fairy tale activity. And the objective here is to identify ethical and unethical online behavior based on fairy tales scenarios. So here I have taken 3 examples. The first one is Little Red Riding Hood, and the second one is Three Little Pigs, and the third one is Hare and the Tortoise. And these stories have been tweaked a little, So let us see what we are doing in the first story. So in the first story, the Little Red Riding Hood is receiving a message from the wolf online now, okay. Now the question is, should she accept the friend request? Now in Three Little Pigs the 3 little pigs, they posted their pictures of their brick and stick houses online. Is this a good idea? And then in the last story, the tortoise and the hare. Here tortoise is challenging the hare for an online race, and he hacks his way to victory. Do you think, is this fair? So these are only few examples. What teachers can do now, teachers can choose a few well-known fairy tales, and they can create a scenario that presents an ethical dilemma related to online behavior, okay. Then they can divide the class into groups and assign each group a fairy tale dilemma, and each group have to discuss the dilemma and act upon 2 scenes. Now there are 2 scenes. The scene 1 is the characters make the unethical online choice, and in the scene 2, the character is making the ethical online choice. And now they have to facilitate a discussion about the consequences of each choice and discuss what matters, what makes a choice ethical and unethical online. So this is one of the activity. I think all the students, they will definitely enjoy this activity. Let me share the second activity. The second activity is Guardians of the Digital Realm. So design your cyber hero. So in this, they have to design a Superman or a Superwoman also who fights online villains. So they have to first understand what online villains can do with them, okay, and then they will design some activities, some things. I mean, they will design some rules, I think, so that which they need to follow to fight that villain, just like they do in physical life. And it allows actually them to participate, discuss, and create rules for being safe and responsible digital citizens.
All right, well, I must say those were quite interesting activities, and somehow we all know the answers to the questions that you raised, where the stories were tweaked a little, but actually the data that has been presented by you, the strata that is quite alarming.
Yeah.
Because the kind of numbers that we are able to see. So this is a serious issue.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is very important that this establishment of cyber clubs can help in addressing these issues, especially for the young ones, for our adolescents. So, Indu ma'am, coming to you, in this physical world, we have certain etiquettes.
Exactly.
Like something as simple as whenever a teacher enters the room, you say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, say bye-bye. But in the online world, I haven't heard something like that of etiquettes, but yes, of course, there is something associated with that. Please highlight them.
Exactly. Thank you, Simran, for asking the good question. Actually, Vinita ma'am has told the social ethical issues. Actually, these social ethical issues are called etiquettes, we can say. As you told that etiquettes, when we enter in the class, students greet us, they good morning, bye, etc. These the rules which are not defined, not written anywhere, but we follow these rules in a manner when we are the part of the society. These could be the social life, our personal life, our professional life. In the same way, the ethical issues which are related to the digital world is called netiquette. Netiquette is the as the you can see in the presentation also. So netiquettes are the is the combination of two words, net and etiquettes. Net is related to network. We can say digital etiquettes or online etiquettes. So these netiquettes are basically good manners for the internet. It's all about being respectful and responsible when you are online, just like you would be in your real life. This also involves establishing your digital reputation and acting as a responsible member of the community in which you engage. These might range from your school life, your social life, and your online game groups, social platform groups. And why it is important, why we can say that netiquettes are the important. Always remember that there is a person behind your screen. So be kind, as you would not able to say see the face of that person, but always remember that there is a person. You cannot be rude to them, as Vinita ma'am just saw the examples when a student posted a picture of a child and he felt ashamed for that pictures. So always remember that there's a person behind the screen. So we should always remember to be polite, do not be rude to that person in any type of behavior. And netiquettes, we can say, is divided in three different parts, we can say. That is one-to-one, one-to-many communication, and specific platforms. In one-to-one communication, we see email messages and text messages. In email or text messages, the netiquettes emphasize a proper greeting to the person, to the recipient, and addressing the recipient respectfully, maintaining a professional tone always, and ensuring clear and concise communication. Always identify yourself and keep your messages brief and to the point. Include a concise subject with all of your mails. This will allow the recipient to quickly scan whether the email to be answered or as only a junk mail. Avoid sending insulting, abusing or threatening remarks, as there is no undo option while we send an email. Remember that email is not necessarily private. Your message can be forwarded to many people without your knowledge. Before sending an email, always read it over, double check the recipient, and make sure that it would not become an awkward situation if this email may be forwarded to the person which are not in your contact list. So always be respectful, always be alert while sending a message or email. Now the next is one-to-many communication. In this we can say that mailing list, public chats, forums, etc. These netiquettes focuses on respecting community guidelines, using appropriate language, avoiding excessive slang or offensive content, being mindful of others' privacy, and avoiding disruptive behavior like spamming or flaming. Personal attack we should avoid. Then next is specific platforms, we can say. In specific platforms, now the children are using social media, as ma'am has shown the data of our small children. They spend a lot of time on social media or on the games, online gaming, saying. While using social media during chatting or messaging, you should always remember that the person on the other side is just like you. Speak to them in a manner you want to be spoken to, or the way you would treat a person if you come face to face always. Children are using a social media account as their personal diary. They write their thoughts, they write their feelings without thinking about the repercussions. It is not always a good idea to be vocal about all your thoughts and feelings online. Do not use your students social media account to rent out your anger. If you feel that this should be reported, yeah, this should be answer in a proper way, or if you are feeling more anger, then just keep this anger aside and keep your mobile off or your digital devices off for a moment. After that you will feel comfortable. Always when you feel overly emotional and you want that this should not be a good form to answer a question, so social media platform are not the platforms to answer every question and every thoughts or every expression of your feelings. Always talk to an interested person who can listen to your problem, who can guide you when you are emotionally weak. So next is the most important is gaming etiquettes. Gaming etiquettes, students are using games in a very light mode. These are the activities you should use when you are have ample of time and you want to spend some time in your leisure mode, but don't take it on personal. Always follow your game followers with your other persons through which you are using, without thinking about the gender, about the level of the gaming. Always use good language to them. Be patient with less experienced players and offer constructive feedback instead of criticism. Always be respectful to their communication and accept your defeat gracefully and celebrate humbly. So these are the etiquettes we can expect from our students.
Of course. And having understood at depth about the etiquettes, or I should say these digital etiquettes that we were discussing right now, next thing is when we are using internet or we are being online in one or the other way, what I have often heard is being mindful, having a critical thinking or critical analysis. So what is it all about?
Yes, thank you, Simran. Critical thinking is, we can say that it is the main course of the 21st century skill we can expect from our students actually. We all heard the word no several times in our life, and it truly means to know something. We always heard that the earth is round and it evolves around the sun, and it is a truth, and we accept it as a truth.
Yes.
But after that this situation comes, we had a lot of research and lot of research papers we asked from our seniors and our teachers. Always think, that is thinking is called critical thinking. It is our ability to think critically. We have information C rather. From this information C, make wise decision, actively participation in conversation or debates. That is called critical thinking.
And sometimes actually what happens is, especially when we talk about adolescents, while being online, they are not able to differentiate between the right and the wrong behavior.
Exactly.
What is being said, because as you just mentioned, we do not know who is there on the other side of the screen. So that kind of a conscious call or the realization is still missing somewhere. Therefore, we require this kind of awareness.
Exactly. As Vinita ma'am has shown some pictures to us, when a student see some pictures or some messages, they just forward to without thinking what is the credentiality of that information and that pictures. We ask always our students to think before you send, before you post. This is called critical thinking. And now there are some steps. What is critical thinking? And we require it in our daily life. When we write some answer, we analyze it. So there are some steps in critical thinking. First one is, we can say, analysis. Analysis, when we got some information, we break this information and constitute part in understanding the relationship with the problem. What is the problem? What we got it from where we got it? What is this required to send it to another person or also not? Evaluation, that is identify the strength, the weakness of the post, the pictures we are sending to another. Synthesis, sources of the information, from where we get the information, is that the right source from where we are getting. Problem solving means if we send this information to other, what will be the causes after spending to so many people to the groups. Reasoning, proper reasoning or evidence to draw sound conclusion. What will be the repercussion of this particular sending a post. Then open mindedness, always respectful to different perspectives and willing to consider alternative viewpoints. So critical thinking is a very important before posting or before writing something on internet in this one.
Right. So etiquettes and critical thinking, they are both equally important, and we need to be more aware of them, especially when we are in the cyberspace, maybe using any of the social media platforms or posting something online, or maybe doing our assignments online. So the next thing that comes to my mind is sometimes what happens is nowadays, because we are in this digital era, the teachers are giving assignments to the students, sometimes offline and sometimes online assignments. Now what happens is some of us, actually what we did back then, we used to copy the assignments because that was the easiest way.
Exactly.
And what actually happens with the child is, now tomorrow you have to submit the assignment, and day before that, last night you remember, okay, there's some work to be done. So is there a term for that especially, and how to deal with that? And actually the thing is that can you find out that whether a particular thing is copied or not?
Exactly. Thank you, Simran. It is a very good question, rather, we can say. As you asked, we just assigned some assignment to our student and they did it in any way. So copying something which is taking from someone else's work and presenting it's your own is called plagiarism. The word plagiarism just define that using others' ideas. And these ideas in terms of your work is called plagiarism. This can involve using their words, their ideas, or even just their structure. If we copy structure from them, it is also under this word plagiarism. There are many tools, many freeware tools. We by using these tools, we can analyze whether this content is copied or not. I took an example. I just copy first line from a website and just write a word file, and I just do this activity whether this is comes under plagiarism or not. You see that the ratio of the content, which is the plagiarized content and what is my unique content. So with the help of these activities, we can rather we can say that we can guide our students which type of content they should use or they should not use. In my next slide, I took this presentation to also plagiarized, and it is showing that it is 0% plagiarized because it is my own content, and I just typed this content. With these softwares, we can make our students aware not to copy anything, because this is the time of artificial intelligence. We have different AI modules, and students just copy from these modules to complete their assignments. And there are different types of plagiarism also. First is word for word, quotation without clear acknowledgement. We can ask a student, if you copy something, just quote that websites, that quote the words as it is, and mention in your assignment, so that the reader must know what type of content the student has made themselves and what type of content they copied from other. Copy and paste from the internet without clear acknowledgement. Actually, this is the information. See, we have a lot of information floating on the website, on the internet. Now, if we are copy and pasting, just first we should ensure what are the credibility of this information which we are using, and if we are using some information, we should acknowledge the particular website. You see in the presentation, ma'am has all the pictures. We have mentioned the detail
Source,
about
yeah.
the source, about the websites we have mentioned. So we are acknowledging that particular content from where we are using it.
And some actually, the smarter ones, what they do is, before you step on to the paraphrasing one, they just take one paragraph
Yes.
and then they make it their third paragraph.
Yes,
The
yes.
sixth paragraph make it their first paragraph without an understanding of the fact that this can be identified.
Yes. We can say that paraphrasing, you do paraphrasing, you use alternate words also, but just acknowledge the
Source,
originality.
yeah. Yeah.
Originality, we should acknowledge it. We should give proper respect, proper credits to that. The fourth one is self-plagiarism. It is very common. We submit one assignment to one teacher and the same assignment to another teacher. Previous year's works we submitted this year and another year. That is called self-plagiarism. Resubmitting the entire paper, copying and paraphrasing, recycling previous papers and separately publishing multiple articles about the same research that comes under the self-paraphrasing. Next, utilizing content authorized by experts or other individuals. We took help from other agencies, outside agencies, but we don't mention from where we took help, from where we use this content. Next is the collusion without giving proper credit to the persons, to the group who helped on our means in completing our assignment. And same, the next is acknowledging assistance. Now these are the main concept of plagiarism. How do we make our students aware about it? So we can use some activity.
Okay.
We can use a spin wheel.
So there's an activity, and we would also like to present the slide on the screen for all our viewers.
This is a spin wheel. A teacher can make it very easily. The whole class is divided between 8 groups, because I took 8 wheels in this, 8 parts in the wheel, and a teacher give 8 different activities, 8 groups to form 8 groups. A student from that group comes and spin the wheel. If he or she got number 1, for example, then the teacher will give one scenario, whether this scenario comes under the plagiarism or not.
Okay.
Students aware about the plagiarism, whether they are copying something from the other fellow, how they will mention the name of that fellow persons to while completing the task. So this is a very good activity, I can say. Student will learn in a very play way method. So we can make students aware about plagiarism. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for highlighting these important aspects for all our viewers. And the next term that comes in my mind is actually digital footprint. And Vinita, ma'am, we have often heard said, even in our programs, we keep on saying that was what goes on internet once. Even if you delete it there itself manually, but it will not be deleted somehow. It cannot be erased from the internet. So is digital footprints the reason behind them? And please guide us on why this kind of awareness and the information about digital footprints is important for everyone.
See, Simran, we all love to use internet, and I think we all are using internet for, during pandemic for online studying and teaching also, and nowadays for online transactions, then online shopping,
Right.
which we love most, I think, and what not, like for everything. And I have listed so many things on this page also, like posting a photo. Besides those main activities, there are different other activities which we usually perform: filling out a form, leaving a blog comment, and updating the status. So all this we perform daily. Like, I think everyone is using internet. Those who are having smartphones or smart devices with them, everyone is using internet, and it really helps us to connect us to the world at large. But it is also posting our personal information. It is on display now, and it is posing risk on our security and privacy online. So this is also a problem. So what can we do to actually tackle with this problem? So first of all, let me explain and let me show you some again some statistics about it. So in the first picture you can see we are walking, this lady is walking on a patch of mud. So whenever we are online, it is similar, it is very much similar to walking on a patch of mud. No matter where we go, we leave behind a footprint that others can see. So don't forget, don't think that no one can see you. It is a faceless world, it is a borderless world, but everyone can see you. The second picture I hope you can see, in which some statistics are given, like what does your online image project about you. So in this picture, like you can see that 21% people, they were fired from a job just because of their negative digital footprints. Then 16% they lost their job, 16% they could not get admission in the colleges. Then again 14%, 15%. It's a big data, people, they are losing on something, on their favorite things just because of their digital footprints. So how to tackle this? And one more, this is a very important, I just wanted to show this picture. This is an ad from Google, and Google is saying they are hiring. And then they are saying, no need to apply, we already have all your information. This is going to be the future. So children, what they are doing now on social media is going to impact when they will apply for jobs. So they must remember, like posting even a single negative comment can go against them. So it is very important for them to know what to do when they are online and what type of digital footprints they are creating when they are navigating online spaces. So let us first understand this word digital footprints. So the information which we leave behind whenever we use the internet as digital footprint. So I hope you all have heard the story of Hansel and Gretel, the two children who were lost in the forest and they used breadcrumbs to, mark their trail. So it is very much similar to that. So whenever we visit the internet, we leave some crumbs of information behind. And it is this crumb of information only which is together making our digital footprint. And very important and very, very alarming thing is that it is not just our own online actions we need to worry about, but actually what others they say and post about us also contributes to our digital footprint. So this is really important. And let's see why digital footprint matters. I think each and every student in today's world, they should understand this, that digital footprint, they are permanent. Once we create a digital footprint, it is there forever. Once one of the student, he came to me, ma'am, I posted a picture, then I deleted it immediately. Even then my friends, they had my picture. So this is the impact, this is the digital footprint we are creating. And once the information becomes public, suppose you are doing some digital transaction and your, net banking details goes public, then it goes in the wrong hand also. And this is your online reputation, and your online reputation can affect your offline reputation also, your relationship with your friends, your families, in the job. So it is very important. So it is very important that we mindfully visit internet and we mindfully comment, and whatever digital footprints we are creating, they should be, mindfully created so that they are positive and they are not negative. So we are, I am again describing two activities here. The first one is the privacy treasure hunt, which schools, they can always opt for this kind of activities. So here few information, we can write down this kind of information on the chits, and the objective here is to identify which pieces of information should be kept private and why. So you can see on the screen that I am your friend and I want to know your home address, so that I can send you birthday card. So shall you share this information? Then in the next, you attended the birthday party of your friend and you had a lot of fun with your friends and you captured these moments, and later you posted all the photos on your social media account without their consent. So there are so many clues I have already shared. So the schools, they can opt, they can write down this in the form of chits, and then the students, they can pick one chit and then they can ponder upon these, like what can be the impact, what information should be kept private, and if they do not keep it private, what will happen, and then they can reflect upon this. And in another activity, this is digital footprint exploration. Here the students are supposed to reflect on their own digital footprints. So they will be asked to reflect upon how many hours do they spend online, which social media platforms do they use regularly, Have they ever Googled themselves? It is very important. It is very important that after every like 5 to 6 months, you should Google yourself, so that you can see what information about you is coming up on Google. And then how do you manage your privacy settings? Are you really visiting the privacy setting of your social media accounts? Because sometimes the moment when we create the social media accounts, we usually set some privacy settings, but we never visit them after that. So it is very important to visit our social media accounts, and what type of content do you typically post or share online. Then we can share this picture of footprint with them, and we can ask them like what activities they they were involved in, online activities, and they can fill this footprint with their and convert it into a digital footprint, so that they will come to know like what activities they are performing online and what kind of footprint they are leaving when they are online. And in another, like the teacher can also divide into groups, small groups, and students into small groups, and they can each group can be assigned a particular online platform or activity to analyze, and the students, they can investigate the platform and they can explore the type of data that the platform is collecting, and then they can present their findings to the class, and they should share their insight about the platform, or actually like what they have analyzed and what are the implications for the digital footprints if they are visiting this platform. So by conducting, I think, this kind of activities, children, they will come to know, and these are again critical thinking activities. We are not asking them answer to a question. We are asking them, this is problem solving, and they are thinking, and they are critically thinking, and then they are reaching to some conclusion, and then they are reflecting upon what can be the scenario. If this is the scenario, this can happen, and if this is the scenario, this can happen. So this type of activities, I think, will definitely help them to overcome this kind of challenges. And last, I would like to finish with the quote. We need to find, this is by Sheryl Sandberg, CEO of Meta, and I quote, "We need to find a balance between the digital world and the real world. Technology should only enhance our lives and not replace them." I unquote. Thank you.
Of course. Well said. Technology is there to enhance our lives, but not to replace it. Well said. And very quickly, I would like to, both of you, I'll request you to please reflect on this area. When we talk about the establishment of cyber clubs, maybe in the schools or societies, so particularly in the schools, what are certain challenges that actually teachers or the people from the academic background will face, and how to address them? Vinita ma'am.
So some of the challenges when we are making cyber clubs is that we need to first find out students who actually know what is right and wrong. They must be fully apprised of, because if we select students who actually are notorious, so they will guide the other students in the same way. So it is very important to select these students, and then again finding time, again we have content rich classes, and finding time, and time to time conducting activities, so that children, they should not forget. So we need to make them memorize things again and again, so that it is in their head, so that they will never forget how to behave online when they are navigating the digital spaces. So these are few challenges, but I think this can be overcome, because we want our generation to be safe and responsible.
Of course. And Indu ma'am, would you like to add to that?
Exactly. As Vinita ma'am said, if we do one thing, we do not reveal the identity of the student. If they face some problem, if they had do some bad things to another student or on their social media platform, they can express their feeling without hesitation, without revealing their names, so that we can have multiple situations. How to deal with that situations, how to make aware our students to that situations they faced in their internet. So during the cyber club, we are not bound to reveal the identity of any student. We can do that.
Coming back to that point where you mentioned that students might be reluctant, we have observed that in the classroom, not all five fingers are equal. So everybody is unique in their very own way. But there are actually students who might maybe find it embarrassing to confide in such details with their teachers. Maybe I shared this content on internet, now it is going viral, this or that. So how can actually, as teachers, you can liberate them from that kind of feeling, so that they can come and confide in their feelings with you?
All the activity which are planned, it is a group activity, and we can make our students free to make our the group according to their choice. They are very comfortable with their peer group or with their friends, and without revealing the identity of that group, who are the members of that groups. We mentioned that group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5, and with the help of these groups, we just give some solution to them, how to behave, how to respond to a situation when they got stuck to a situation.
Yes.
And I think like if we are regularly conducting this kind of activities, they will come out of their fear of expressing themselves.
Yes.
They will feel more, easy to share their problems with others, because nowadays actually we are keeping themselves confined in a cocoon. That is why they have fear in their mind that if they share their problem, there will be some consequences of that. Parents will
Yes,
be
yes.
angry, they will be upset, or they will take their devices.
Or
We
people
should
might
stop
judge
this.
them.
Yeah, people will judge them that what they are doing online. So if we talk about these things in the classroom, if we have cyber clubs in the school, I think this problem will definitely be solved.
Of course, this can make a huge impact,
Yeah.
on the way we studying, on the process of teaching and learning, and the kind of perception and thinking that we are developing in our schools.
And we should have faith to our student, to our children. Ki,
Of
we
course,
are
of course.
with
That,
them.
as she mentioned, that it is a collective responsibility
Exactly.
for
Collective
everyone.
response, yeah.
So thank you so much, Indu ma'am and Vinita ma'am, for being a part of the discussion. Well, it has turned out to be really very informative and interactive. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Simran.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the viewers who have connected with CIT NCRT for this particular fourth day of our online training program, where we were discussing an important aspect of cyber safety, which was socio-ethical aspect. We got to know a lot about the digital ethics, so we'll call them netiquettes, and we got to know about digital footprints and how cyber clubs can actually come to your rescue and help so many students out there, because we are all using technology and we cannot deny the fact that technology is the need of the hour. Thank you once again for everyone for connecting with us in this fourth day. Tomorrow also, right from 4 p.m. till 5 p.m, we have the fifth and the concluding day of our online training program, where we are going to discuss more about the legal aspects that are associated with cyber safety. So it's time to wrap up this conversation, but stay connected, keep watching eVidya channels, because next up we have our Sahyog session, where we try to provide guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support to all the students, all the viewers who keep on connecting with us for the diverse program. So we will be right back within a minute. Stay connected and keep watching eVidya channels, and be very safe in the physical world, that's the offline world, and also in the online world. Namaskar.